Yeah, how are you, folks? Welcome to DiPaolotics, under the umbrella F Politics. What's going on? I only have 2 more days here, so relax. It's almost over. It's not going to hurt that much. The fucking commute, I can't help it, folks. I was an idiot. I moved to the suburbs many, many moons ago, and it's just... I don't know how people do it. And I'm coming in to do something I love. Imagine driving in here to fucking whatever. Work in a sock factory. I don't know. But it's, I circle this date today on your calendar because I took a Percocet last night because I average about 2 hours of sleep a night. So circle that on your calendar when Nick DiPaolo got hooked on Percocet. I slept like a drunk baby last night. Jesus Christ. I got up today, perky. Yesterday, I got up. I had morning sickness. Something was in my gut hanging. It felt like a dead fetus. I was all clammy, and it was just horrible. It was just horrible. So last night, I took the Percocet, and oh my God, I made coffee. I did 2 cartwheels in my driveway on the way to my car, and what a fucking difference. So circle that. That and the Zoloft kicked in. About 10 days on Zoloft now. You hit your 50s, you get depressed, you look in the mirror, you get the physique of a 90-year-old maid, and it's just fucking horrible. And so, but the combination, and I always badmouth people who take this shit, but I think they might have a point. Some of this stuff might work. Anyways, my co-host for the day, one of my favorite people in the business, he's the proprietor of the world-famous Comedy Cellar, and you might know him from his radio show on Raw Dog 99 on Thursdays at 7 p.m., the Comedy Cellar show. It's Noam Dworman. Noam.
Hi, Nick.
Good to see you, buddy.
Nice to see you.
How are you? Do you usually get up at this time? Because a lot of times I send you an email and I get this automatic reply back saying I'm probably sleeping.
Yeah, I get up early. Up every morning with the kids at like 7.
I forgot.
Yeah, and then I go back to sleep.
And the kids are 12, 21, and 36?
Kids are 4 and 3.
Are they right?
Yeah, 4 and 3.
How you liking it, Noam?
I love it.
You do?
You never had kids.
I had a couple, but I get sick of them, so I put them up on Craigslist. They were gone like that. A couple of cute little bitches. But, yeah, no, I had never had kids.
It's the best thing I ever did.
Is that right?
Yeah,
because I don't see it in your eyes. I see the worst thing you ever did.
I can't even describe. All right.
No, go ahead.
I can't describe.
Kidding, obviously.
I know. I can't describe how happy the kids make me. I mean, that's corny, but it's true.
Do you ever think about the shitty future that they're going to have with if the thick-ankle dog face gets elected?
Yes, I do think about that.
Noam, by the way, went to the University of Pennsylvania and is super bright. And politically, I don't even know where you land.
Trump went to UPenn, too, didn't he? He went to Wharton.
I didn't mean to ruin you. Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Do you think that was all connections?
He has the best words. We get the best words at Penn.
But you lean. Are you like me? You're a little to the right, aren't you?
I'm pretty far to the right.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
And you always make good sense because we, at the Comedy Cellar table, will lure in, some wise-ass millennials or whoever, and they don't know him. They think he just runs. They see him behind the bar. They think he's a bartender. Then he sits down and then he rips them a new one, and political discussions. And very fair though. You were like your old man. Very fair in your assessment. And so obviously you watched the debate because you knew you were coming to this show.
I watched the debate. You watched it.
I did. I don't watch it like most people watch it. I watch it while I'm recording a baseball game, and I jump back and forth. So if I'm...
Are you still... I texted Nick. I said, are you the guy in the polls? He's like, what poll? The guy who's still supporting Trump? Are you still supporting Trump?
Of course.
You are.
Yeah. What, you're not?
No, I'm not. He's not the one, Neil. I mean,
Neil?
You're like no. You're like, not Neil. You're like, what's his name? Who Lawrence Fishburne's character in the Matrix?
Oh, I didn't see the Matrix.
Morpheus, yeah.
Morpheus. He's not the one, Morpheus. You didn't never saw the Matrix?
No, I didn't. I don't like that type of shit.
I think Trump.
I only like snuff films.
Trump is almost there. I think for people like us, we were excited about having an outsider, a businessman, someone who wasn't politically correct, someone who was blunt, all those things.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's the one. He's an imperfect vessel for that.
As opposed to a fucking criminal in a pants. No, here's the thing. I didn't
as opposed to a criminal. Yeah.
I didn't vote for him in the primary. I'm not a huge Trump fan. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
but he's more of the people.
He is.
And it's what we need. Enough of the Ivy League president of the Harvard Law Review, who knows not. Again, in theory, all this shit sounds great. The libs, their theories, and you know, on paper it sounds great, but when the rubber hits the road, it falls apart. Obama's a bright guy, but he's so naive about people, or he's a liar. I don't know which one, but I see what you're saying. I'm not thrilled either, but Jesus, after what we know about her, I don't know how anybody would want her near that kind of power, knowing her instincts. Even John Podesta says she has shitty instincts.
She's we don't know. She's probably more to the right than she ever lets on, which is what the WikiLeaks are showing.
That?
Yeah, she didn't want to pull out of Iraq. She was advocating a tougher stance in Syria. She's more pro-Israel than Obama is. She's running.
Easy.
Yes, easy. She's running against Bernie Sanders, and there was that one email that said about does she know what planet she's on, which I took her as a reference to the fact that she doesn't realize she's running against Bernie Sanders, that the base is quite left-wing, and she has to pretend to be left-wing. It's when she said she was a centrist, but she's a centrist.
But she admits in these WikiLeaks that, you know, having two faces, one for the public one for the... That, to me, right there is a deal breaker. You two-faced... And I know, and then you're going to hear from, well, they all do that. But she... How about her? You talk about the Middle East and all that shit. Her fingerprints are all over this mess, are they not?
I don't know. I mean,
you know, she was Secretary of State.
Well, she has to do what she's told. I mean,
all right, then it's on the.
I think you got to blame the president for that. I think that if she had the decisions to make, she would have screwed it up less. Maybe she would have screwed it up. The thing about Trump is not the women, but I think we agree on that, right? You're not. Are you bothered by the women?
Oh
thing?
My God, that's when I said I can't vote for this guy. This guy likes pussy. So does Hillary. Where's that tape?
Did you see the interview with the woman who was in the first class seat?
Yes, we talked about her a couple times.
And she says, "Well, if you just kept it above the waist, I might have been okay with it. I wouldn't have had a problem. Just kept it above the waist." And then she went back to her seat and coach.
Yes, and she looked like, I told you, she looked like the broad who slapped Chief Brody across the face in Jaws. Well, a young Bill Lambert who wanted to. Plus the armrest. Did you see the armrest in those planes? They took a picture of the brand of plane that supposedly that they were on back in the late 70s. For Christ's sake, there was a wall bigger than the one Trump wants to build on the on the Mexico border between. That was a great line. You guys can use that. I'll give that to Levin. Anyways,
but let's just presume for a second it's true. Let's presume it's true.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. We still got to vote. I think you still got to vote for the president who is going to be best for the country. I mean,
exactly.
We know historically that a president can be a vulgar lech with women and still be a good president.
Thank you. See the logic he's bringing to this. Where are you going to fuck this up? Stop right there.
And it's almost not fair. Let's say one president is going to bring more jobs, raise standards of living, and whatever.
Right.
And the other one is not. So you're going to vote for the one who's not because they didn't come on to women in some way. It's not fair to the people who are going to suffer under those policies, or the Supreme Court nominees. People have to suffer under these Supreme Court nominees for the next 50 years, when nobody even remembers why it was we had to have these nominees. Oh, because he tried to kiss a girl in first class, so therefore we had to have the left wing court or the right wing court.
Yes.
So I think none of that matters. Trump's problem is that he can't control himself. I wouldn't have a business partner who couldn't control themselves. He flies off the day after.
He's too thin-skinned.
The day after the convention, when he made that great speech at the convention,
yeah,
he spent the next 48 hours focusing on Ted Cruz's father killing Kennedy.
No, I know.
This is it in a nutshell. He wants Hillary to get a drug test before the debate.
Yes, which was silly. That's all silly. But you do understand.
It's self-destructive.
Okay.
That's his problem.
But you're so what you're ultimately worried that his finger on the button, that whole thing?
No.
He's going to be surrounded by people who know a lot more than him, because I think CEOs know how to delegate, and he's going to surround himself with bright people. And I don't. We're comparing him to a professional. Here's the problem: we're comparing him to professional politicians. And this guy is not perfect. He's rough around the edges. He's all that. You know, I said, you know who he is. He's Rodney Dangerfield in Caddyshack. That character.
That's right.
But with a little more smarts. And we're at a crisis. And The fact this WikiLeaks, the shit that's coming out, the fact, I'm sorry, but this, and no pun intended, but it trumps it all. The fact that she deleted 33,000 emails after she was subpoenaed. She has no right even being in this race.
Yeah, but how do you feel about him saying,
Pussy?
I'm going to hire a special prosecutor to have you locked up, or whatever he said?
I guess third world countries do that or whatever, but I don't know. I kind of liked it. Shouldn't she be in jail? Well, and we'll get to the other we'll talk about the debate. But my first question about these debates: why have them in front of a live audience if the live audience has to pretend they're not there and can't even snicker or fucking a light applause? What is the point of having a live audience? Put the two in a sound studio and sit them at a table if that's what you want. Chris Wallace, who did a great job, but he was like an old school mom. Quiet. Two people giggled. Even Hillary had a good zinger in there that we're going to play. That surprised me.
That's a good point.
What is the point of a live fucking audience? I'm sure, let's call, maybe WikiLeaks will have some email on that or whatever.
Maybe
the
energy of the crowd to create the atmosphere. I don't know.
Yeah, and what do? They minutely they suppress that. It's the first thing they do. We don't want to hear anything. And my theory was like, well, Trump is better in front of a live. He'd get a few zings in and start getting laughs. Whatever.
He actually might be worse. It might
in a live setting.
He might come off better in the live setting.
That's what I mean.
But that may translate worse.
That is a great
into the living room.
That is a great point because at his rallies, and I know this from being a Comic-Con star, you know it firsthand. I've said shit on your stage over the years where it's because you're in the moment, you're killing or whatever, and then you say something that you wouldn't normally. I used to listen to myself on the way home in the car because we record the sets.
When you listen to yourself, do you ever say, "Take it easy, calm down"? Like it's hard to. Like whenever I hear
you should have told me that 20 years ago.
No,
TV show by now.
No, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant.
I'm only kidding.
I meant that sometimes same thing with music. When I hear myself on a recording, alone in the car where it's subdued,
he plays a tuba by the way.
The energy doesn't seem to match where it is that I'm listening to. So I feel like I'm being too energetic. It's like if you heard
with an instrument, a musical instrument.
Yeah, if you heard a recording of yourself having sex. But you're relaxed in your car. Dude, take it easy.
No,
it's appropriate in the moment.
I'd be like, is she crying again?
So Trump's quips and oh, you have sound effects?
Of course. The fuck?
Trump's remarks are
point them out, radio guy.
Trump's remarks are appropriate to the audience, but then they lose something.
Well, it's a good point. You're right. It could be advantageous to him because, like you said, if he get a few laughs, then he starts, like I just said, you start saying stuff because you're in the moment. And politicians do that all the time. Hillary, all of them. They get in front of their own rallies.
Yeah.
They start bad-mouthing whatever, white Republicans.
Deplorables,
and then you regret it. That's why I'm quitting comedy tomorrow. Mm-hmm. But that was my first, why have a goddamn live? It makes me nuts. And they all have to sit there. And what did you think of Chris Wallace? I thought...
you didn't like him?
No, I thought he did a good job.
I thought he was the only good moderator we've had. He's the only one who played it down the middle. He didn't jump in like the previous moderators did and start arguing with the answers. And he went after both of them. I don't actually like the questions where they go after an individual candidate about some scandal in their past because it's not really a debate question. I think that the moderators should just ask questions about the issues, the things that are before the country. And if the candidates want to bring up each other's personal problems, bring it up.
But here's why it is relevant, and I sort of disagree, especially in this situation, like the sex tape and stuff.
Yeah.
And because you got WikiLeaks this year and the sex tape, and they're using them against each other. So that, I'm saying the lib media is using the Trump tape to block out all the shit from WikiLeaks. So it's, do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I would prefer, it's a, look, at least Chris Matthews did it one for one. Your scandal, Chris Wallace, your scandal, where the other guys, other debates didn't do that. But I would prefer, for instance, ask a question about trade. And then if Trump wants to bring up the fact that Hillary...
Let him bring it up?
Let him do it.
But in this situation, like I said, I thought because of... Let's play... I thought this was Trump's weakest moment when they brought up the tape and he started, denying about the women. I thought this is where he hurts himself.
And I didn't even apologize to my wife, who's sitting right here, because I didn't do anything. I didn't know any of these women. I didn't see these women. These women, the woman on the plane, the woman, I think they want either fame or her campaign did it. And I think it's her campaign.
He said, I didn't know these women. What? That's just not true. This is where he hurts himself. I mean, one of them was on The Apprentice, for Christ's sake, right?
That's right.
So, I mean, again, but again, I judge him on a curve. People say, well, that's unfair, because he's not a professional. He doesn't lie professionally for a living. He only does it part-time. He's a builder. But
who tells their wife first? The wife is always the last one you admit it to. Always. He says, I didn't even apologize to my wife.
I don't apologize to my wife, not because I didn't do it, because I'm not going to apologize to her.
No, I'm just saying
that's a joke. Relax out there,
the last
you fucking
to know.
Angry lesbians. Can you say that without getting in trouble? It's a joke. Anyhow. So what? Sorry.
No, I'm just saying the wife is. It's a lame excuse to lead with. I didn't even apologize to my wife. Like, if it were true, I would have admitted it to my wife. Of course, you're not going to admit it to your wife. She's the last person you're going to admit it to.
I guess
that's what I thought when it was coming out of his mouth.
So what was the other? Like I said, Hillary actually had a couple zingers in there, but let's talk. And this is the other. Go ahead.
The big headline was that he.
We're going to get to that. What he said at the end of the debate
about wait and see about the election.
Yeah, we're going to get to that. Okay. But here's another thing. Hillary starts talking about his dark vision.
It's not one thing. This is a pattern of divisiveness, of a very dark and in many ways dangerous vision of our country, where he incites violence, where he applauds people who are pushing and pulling and punching at his rallies. That is not who America is.
You need to shut the fuck up.
How? That was her biggest gag. I bet you as it was leaving her mouth, she was going, oh, no. And you know why I'm saying that? Because of the James O'Keefe, the guy that goes undercover.
Yeah, because of those videos, yeah.
Yes. The DNC is working with these George Soros groups and send professional agitators to Bird Dog, they call it, to start violence at Trump rally. And she tries to accuse him of that? I mean, that was
I didn't see it that way.
What, were you drunk last night?
No,
Jesus Christ, no.
Well, go ahead.
No, I want to hear why you didn't see it that way.
I think that both points could be valid at the same time. James O'Keefe in those videos, obviously they were up to stuff. Do you think she was in on that? She's behind it?
Yes. You got to read your WikiLeaks. Nobody seems to give a fuck.
You don't know that, but she could be.
Dude, there's a guy on camera saying the DNC works with the Clinton campaign. He gave the whole hierarchy of
did
it.
he? I didn't see that.
Yes. Well, it's kind of important.
Yeah, it is.
Don't you think so? That's why it was breathtaking.
Nevertheless, he is guilty at rallies of saying, punch him in the face and get him out of here and showing no interest in
He said that once
violence.
to a guy who was being a dick. But, yeah.
Listen, I agree with you, and I've made the point that, and I'm sure you've probably thought the same thing, that when you're on stage and you're doing your thing and somebody's you get furious, you want to get them the fuck out of here. And,
no one would see me at my worst.
But not just you. I mean, even mild-mannered comedians sometimes. Kurt Metzger.
I heard about Kurt. That's when I became a fan of Kurt.
And then immediately, now the guy who's really the asshole, the guy who's inappropriate and trying to disrupt things, becomes the victim. And everybody feels sorry for him because somebody crossed the line verbally and said, get him out of here or whatever it is.
Right.
So I agree with you. Nevertheless, he never... If the next day he would say, listen, I didn't mean it that way, he never shows any indication of any kind of softness, any kind of regret about anything he says. And he does pump up these deplorables. He does pump up his base. And, I'm not taking your side. I'm just saying if that's your worldview, then I think her point made sense. It's not my worldview.
No, but she's accusing him of what she's doing and her campaign is doing. You can't be, I don't
know. Didn't bother me.
It's fine. It didn't. Oh my God.
Don't bother me none. What can I tell you?
You don't think that doesn't bother you that the DNC's working with
that bothers me.
And where they incite violence.
Yes.
At Trump rallies to make Trump people look bad. This is all on tape. Guys, they actually stepped down, the two guys that were doing this.
No, you're right. But
so I don't understand why you're not outraged that then during a debate she says that he's doing that.
Because she's criticizing the various times that we've seen him speak very harshly, seeming to, if not incite violence, be okay with violence. And
I guess, like a isolated incident of somebody getting punched. That redneck, I wasn't for that either. Yeah, a nice elbow to the face. It's like a linebacker shedding a blocker. But compared to an organized,
I'll pay his legal fees.
And she's paying, and not her personally because they set it up with his plausible deniability and all that. But where they're doing organized violence at Trump rallies. It was just the way she described it as a dark vision, which is exactly what I was thinking when I was watching this. I go, this is a dark woman.
Nick, if that guy after that convention, Trump, had just kept his head down, only spoke about policy, no more insults, no more of all this nonsense, he would be president.
No, I agree.
The country doesn't want to vote for her. They don't want to vote for her.
No, I agree. He shoots himself in the foot here and there, but he's imperfect. That's being human. So you're saying you'd rather a fucking phony robot, a professional politician? Yes.
No.
You want a professional politician. Did you see the smile, that phony, creepy smile on her? Every time he got personal with her?
I hate that smile.
Oh, my God.
No, I don't want a professional robot, but I do want
that's what you're going to get.
I want somebody who I always think about this, like, could I put them as manager of the olive tree? Could they do... I mean, it's a legit question.
So you got to be able to make hummus? Is that what you're saying?
You got to be able to shut up. You got to be able to keep your eye on the big picture. You got to vote for Michael, not Sonny. That's really what it is. She is...
Oh, you son of a bitch. Can I write that down?
Yeah. He is Sonny. He's fucking going to the mattresses all the time. He's going to get everybody killed. He wants that deal. He can't. Michael will look at Kay and say, just this one time... No, I didn't kill. And that's Hillary. She'll look you right in the eye and lie about killing your brother, your husband.
And she wakes up with fishes, I hear.
And that's who needs to be the Don. Michael. They're both criminals. They're both ruthless murderers.
She's not Michael. I agree with Trump.
Oh, she's Michael.
Sonny.
Look at her. She's about to win the presidency. That's
Fredo.
Not Michael. No, Fredo would never.
No, Michael did it because of his smarts. He rose through the ranks. He didn't have it fixed.
All right. Well, maybe it's an imperfect analogy, but I think she's Michael.
It's a good one, though. God damn it, it pissed me off. Huh. She looks like Clemenza. Hey, folks, you want to give us a call? 844-547-3287. 844-547-3287. We're talking to Noam Dworman, who is the proprietor of the world famous Comedy Cellar. Has his own show on Raw Dog, the Comedy Cellar show on Thursdays at 7 p.m. with a funny comedian, Dan Natterman, who's your partner on the show, correct?
My favorite, Dan Natterman.
Yes. On my back. Might have to go for another Percocet. Have you? You probably know. You're a musician, so you're probably a weed guy.
Not much.
No,
a little bit.
The other clip I wanted to play. We have. Let's play the. I'm going to give Hillary Clinton here because she had a good zinger. Talking about Trump. Trump was bragging about his buildings and stuff, and she
in
gave him
my
a shot.
apartment today, on a very beautiful hotel down the street, known as
Made with Chinese steel.
But I will tell you, I sat there.
I sat up on that one. If she did more of that, I'd like her. I wonder who wrote it.
That's the zinger? I thought the zinger was going to be while you were on Celebrity Apprentice. I think it was part of that same.
Comparing the resumes. She's been using that one. That's a great one, though. Well, I was killing bin Laden.
So why can't Trump explain to the American? Listen, it's true. I did use Chinese steel. And the reason I use
He did explain all that.
The reason I use Chinese steel is because American steel is prohibitively expensive, and the reason it's expensive is because of her and her husband.
Say that.
Sort of, but not in a way that everyday people can see it.
That's what I'm talking about, because he's not a professional politician. You're right.
I'm not a professional politician. I could explain it. You could explain it.
Reagan was a great communicator. This guy's not a great communicator, but you don't have to be. We need somebody with some balls, for Christ's sake. We're not even talking about immigration and all the real things that he points out that are legitimate. This broad wants open borders. We have to unite as a country. Come together. Okay. Tell it to people.
That was for energy. She's talking about energy.
She has no energy. Thick ankle mustache. Anyhow,
Is this a commercial coming on?
Yeah. 844-547-3287. It's Nick DiPaolo, DiPaolotics. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with more Noam, and we'll talk about other stuff. It's Nick DiPaolo, DiPaolotics. Talk about other stuff.
With Nick DiPaolo. To join in the discussion, give
Podcast on iTunes. It comes out on Mondays, and it's on riotcast.com for free. If you like it and you want to subscribe to it, you go to connectpal.com/Nick. Connectpal.com/Nick. For $3.99 a month, you get 2 to 3 more shows a week. And I treat it like a radio show, and it's fun. I say stuff that would get me arrested in countries that Sean Penn likes. connectpal.com/Nick for the podcast. I'll go to nickdipalo.com, and it's all explained right there. Currently talking, and come see me, October 28th. It's a Friday. It's a week from tomorrow night at the Suffolk Theater in Riverhead, New York. I'm taping a 1-hour TV special. Currently talking with the proprietor, the owner of the Comedy Cellar, the world-famous Comedy Cellar, which is booming right now like you wouldn't believe, Noam Dworman. Hi. Also a UPenn grad. Did you go to school with Trump or no?
No, I'm younger than Trump. No, I didn't play football. That's Nick's way of making fun of me. It's okay.
No, I mean with Trump. I just pictured you. Yeah, make fun of no guys. Got 1,000 people coming in a second at the Comedy Cellar, and it's the best club, by the way. He's got another one, the Fat Black Pussycat, around the corner, which is upstairs from the Comedy Underground. And these rooms, you can see Colin Quinn. You wander in, they're working on new stuff, and that you'll see on Netflix in a few months. And you'll see me working on stuff that you'll see on Nat Geo about a year from now. But that was a joke. Anybody? What the fuck? Anybody? So no. Before we move on, one more.
I was trying to think of a grab them at the Fat Black Pussycat joke, but I couldn't come up with one. That's why I saw.
Damn it!
Nick will grab you at the Fat Black Pussycat.
Yeah, I can't do that anymore. I have carpal tunnel. Hey, one more thing about we can move on from the debates. Obviously, the big thing, and again, I looked right at my wife. I go, watch him blow this into a big fucking to-do. Trump, they asked him at the end, Chris Wallace, will you accept, whatever the results, and this is it.
I want to ask you here on the stage tonight, do you make the same commitment that you will absolutely, sir, that you will absolutely accept the result of this election?
I will look at it at the time. I'm not looking at anything now. I'll look at it at the time.
Good answer. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Good answer in this day and age. Why would you? He's been saying it's rigged, and he believes it, and a lot of us believe it. Why would you be saying that for months and then go, no, I'll accept it. It was the perfect answer, and everybody's so upset. That's not the American way. Well, the American way is not deleting 33,000 emails either. Seriously, after you've been subpoenaed and having the FBI and the Department of Justice working hand in hand to get you elected. That's not the American way either. So I thought it was fucking why should he commit then? Well, why should he? And by the way, not to mention Al Gore in 2000. Okay, first he accepted the results, and then he fucking took it to the Supreme Court. And then Nixon could have done the same thing in 1960. With Texas and West Virginia and Daley Kennedy connection. Nixon's family wanted him to contest it, but he, supposedly did the right thing and hard that burner. So I think they're blowing it out of. Oh my God, we don't do that.
Well, first of all, they're misquoting him. Smart. Like I heard Harold Ford on Morning Joe today saying Trump said he won't accept the election results.
That's
not
not
what he said.
Right.
So whenever somebody starts kind of twisting a quote to make it more intense, they already know they're on weak ground, right?
Right.
But then on top of that, if you're really concerned about the threat to democracy, he's undermining our democracy, then you're the last person who ought to be intensifying the quote. Like, if you're really worried about that result, why are you trumping up the quote to sound worse so you're going to get the result that you're supposedly so scared of?
See, that's a level of... You can only get there with weed and hash.
No, that made my point clear.
It's a great point.
It's like, really, you're so worried about this? Then maybe you should be careful about how you quote him. Quote him exactly what he said. Maybe it'll be a little less likely.
Yeah. His whole purpose for running is to say, that's his whole purpose for running, was to fucking, hey, we have to change shit.
The best zinger was he even said that the Emmys were rigged.
Yes,
that was the best one, and that rang true.
You know, somebody wrote that to her. But yeah, no, that is true. But see, I know maybe it's an alpha male thing, an athlete thing. That's how people think who are good leaders. I'm not gonna fucking lose. When I do lose, it probably was rigged. I like sore losers, is what I'm saying.
No,
you understand?
There's something.
And I know in politics. I know in politics it's very unsavory. Whatever. All right, let's go to. I can't see. Take the fucking first call. The screen's behind me.
No, the number 3 is good.
Okay. Why? What's it say? Hold on. I'm calling the shots
somebody
here.
hung up. Well, somebody wants to talk about caring more about their personalities than policies.
Okay, go to that. That's fine. I can't even see the
Kevin
call.
in Texas. You're on with Nick and Noam.
Kevin, what's going on, pal?
How you guys doing today? How you doing, Nick?
Pretty good. Hanging in there. What are you doing?
Nah, I'm driving down the road, man.
Oh no.
What are you on, a Vesper?
I'm on. No, I'm on 40. I drive a truck.
Okay. So what's your question here, Kev?
Anyway, I happen to agree with you. By the way, that comment about not accepting the results, but no big fucking deal. I mean, you know, what's he supposed to say? We'll wait and see what goes on, and then I'll let you know if I'm accepting it or not. You know, it was. Remember during the Republican debate, they had the thing about raise your hand if you're willing to support
the nominee,
the pledge.
That question, yeah,
right.
The only reason they put that question in there was because all the other guys were worried about Donald Trump supporting them.
That's right.
He come out and said, "No, if they treat me fair, I will." And then about 3 weeks later, he said, "Yeah, I'll support the guy." And then when it come down to it, and he finally won, all these other assholes were like, "Oh, I ain't going to support him," you know.
I know. He's exposing these people for what they are, even if he loses. And I'm still confused about that. Thanks for the call, Kev, by the way. Drive safely. Don't be texting behind the wheel like a 12-year-old girl. I don't. How about this, Noam? I don't know. Part of me believes it's all scripted because Colin's been telling me for 2 years that Hillary's going to be the next, right? Part of me believes 10 people in a room script this shit. It's hers anyway. But another part of me, if it's not rigged, believes there's a groundswell. I keep thinking about Brexit. Everybody said the polls, that wasn't going to happen. I think Hillary's such a polarizing figure, and everybody hates her. I know he has a lot of unfavorables too, but I'm just saying there's a groundswell of people like me who have had enough, who a lot of them are afraid to admit they're voting for Trump. They don't want their car vandalized. But could there be a shocker?
Yeah,
on November 8th, could it be a shocker by Trump?
The Brexit analogy is legit. It could be that way. I mean, where you and I hang out, you can't say you're for Trump. People look at you literally like there's something wrong with you. People want to.
What do you mean, Amy Schumer's house?
But they cut you off. They tell you to defriend them. I mean, it's an intense derision if you say that you're for Trump. You don't care because that's your persona. But most ordinary people don't want it. So it's possible they lie to pollsters too. I wouldn't get your hopes up.
My hopes aren't up. Like I said, the other part of me is like, oh, just seeing what they did to Bernie Sanders. This broad is destined. We're bending over backwards.
The thing that bothers me, I said it before.
Time for a vagina in the White House.
It's not that it's rigged. It's that it's all his fault. It's very disappointing. He really had daylight between him and the goal line. All he had to do was hold his shit together.
You don't know nothing about football. Come on.
And he could not stop spouting off about every irrelevancy, every crude comment. And he lost the election for himself.
Yeah, well, the American people are supposed to be smart enough to put that aside because he's right on the big issues, is my opinion. No?
Which issues?
Like fucking immigration.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Well,
you're a racist if you want to protect your borders.
And she had supported a wall.
She supported a wall, but we have her with the speeches to her banker friends saying, "I want an open market society and open borders."
No, but years ago she had supported the wall.
She did support the wall years ago.
The New York Times fact checked it and they were trying to be favorable to her. Said, well, actually, no, she supported a fence.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
No, they didn't.
I swear to God.
No, they didn't.
Yeah.
No, they.
You stupid fucking blabbermouth cunt!
Is that what the New York Times said? She supported a fence? Didn't I say that joking yesterday? Somebody will build a 1-foot fence out of hay? Or was that this morning? The Percocet's still kicking in. I'm a fucking mess over
October
here.
October 20th.
Let me play. Can I play a clip of This wasn't a presidential debate, but I know Noam is familiar with it. I was good friends with Noam's dad, one of my favorite people on the earth. We used to talk about William F. Buckley. You want to hear a good debate? People talk about uncivility now. This wasn't a presidential debate, but it still was on national TV, wasn't it, Noam? It was. Right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. This is William F. Buckley and versus Gore Vidal. And it gets a little heated. The audio's not that good, so I'm just going to tell you, Gore Vidal called him a crypto Nazi, and then Buckley threatened to smack him.
Shut up a minute. No, I won't. And some people were pro-Nazi, and the answer is that they were well treated by people who ostracized them, and I'm for ostracizing people who egg on other people to shoot American Marines and American soldiers. I know you don't care.
As far as I'm concerned, the only sort of pro or crypto-Nazi I can think of is yourself. Failing that, I would only say that we can't have.
Now listen, you
the right of
stop
assembly
calling me a crypto-Nazi.
Let's stop calling names.
You in your goddamn face, and you'll stay plastered.
Gentlemen.
It sounds like Thurston Howell.
Sound like
now
two
listen,
Thurston
Lovey, I'll smack you in the face. You'll stay plastered. He called him a queer. He sounded like he's from Boston. You queer.
You know, when you're angry, and I don't ever know where this line is drawn.
Yeah.
But when you're angry at somebody, some people will just try to hurt the other person, and they'll say anything that they can think of, and it may mean that they have real bigotry, or it may not. My father was not homophobic in any way. I was raised on a steady diet
of
cum. Yeah, he used to think that the worst victim of bigotry was homosexuals. But he had a big fight with somebody one day, and he got really mad. He said, "Shut up, faggot." I heard,
who was it, Modi?
You don't know who the guy. And I couldn't believe my father said that. You know,
he did,
and he regretted saying it too. But
what a baby!
He said, I just wanted to get him. You know, he just went for the.
That's a great story, because I got one of your old man. He was the most clever, smart. He was giving me a ride home one night after the Comedy Cellar out to Queens. This cab cuts us off, and we pull up to a red light. The guy rolls down his window, Arab looking. He looked like he came from Yemen 3 minutes ago. So your father goes, he goes, "You effing Jew," which made the Arab guy go crazy. It was the funniest reverse psychology. Your father looks at me, and we drive away, and he's laughing like he's done it before. It's like he thought of it on the spot. I don't know.
Are you interested in this fact check in the Times?
Oh, go ahead. Yeah,
sure. So they fact.
I didn't know that. I thought you were emailing your life partner.
This fact check is despicable. And there's a bunch of ones that are ridiculous. It says, it quotes, Hillary wants amnesty, which is a disaster. She wants, I'm sorry, I got the wrong, Jesus Christ. Trump says, Mr. Trump said Mrs. Clinton once wanted a wall on the Mexican border. And in a big yellow, it says, a fence, not a wall. This is the Times correcting Trump. An earlier
That's somebody who works for the Times?
Somebody works for the Times.
A fence, not a wall.
And then about the ISIS, this is the other one, which was interesting. I'm going to find it for you. It was about ISIS, where, Trump, I right here. 1 second. Right, here it is. Okay.
I'll just sing. La, la, la,
this is what the Times says. Tens of thousands of Syrian refugees who are definitely ISIS aligned. We now have them in our country. This is what
Trump said that.
Trump didn't really say that.
Okay.
What Trump really said was that she wants to bring in. Actually, I have the actual Trump quote. What Trump really said was, "We're taking in tens of thousands of refugees who probably, in many cases." Not probably, who are definitely, in many cases, aligned with ISIS. So the Times writes it as if he said 10,000 ISIS people, where he actually said in probably many cases they're aligned with ISIS.
Right.
So what the fuck are they doing? This is and this is the fact checking. It's supposed to be the most wholesome, white bread form of journalism, is just the facts.
Yeah.
And even in their fact checking, you get an F in high school for that.
Yeah, well, not at the Times. You get an A. If you're talking about a Republican.
So I find myself getting sucked into defending Trump, even though I'm...
Well, you can't deny the whole media fucking bias thing. That's just... And to me, that's the lifeblood of this... With such a media-driven society, it's where everybody gets information. To have control of that blowhorn, to me, is just... people don't talk about it enough. Speaking of that, let's listen to CNN yesterday doing their dirty work on Hillary's behalf. Chris Cuomo, the guy who said, couple days ago that WikiLeaks, we have to get our information. What did he say?
He said it was illegal to peruse the WikiLeaks in your home. CNN had to do it for you. Something to that effect.
Yeah, to that effect.
Yeah.
Well, here he is again interviewing a congressman from New York, a Republican, and they're chatting, and then the congressman starts to get into negative stuff about Hillary, and this is what happens. And there we go.
Well, on the character issue, the public, 2/3 or more of the public know that Hillary Clinton's a liar. She can't be trusted. And now the two faces of Hillary Clinton are coming out. The fact, through WikiLeaks, that she says one thing and...
Oh, no. All right, let's see if we can get Congressman Collins back. Obviously, we just lost the satellite feed. That sucked.
How's that acting for you? Oh, no. Oh, my. It was like watching Larry Storch in F Troop. I've seen better. Oh, no. Are you dicking me, you phony MFer? Notice I cleaned it up? I don't know why. I just played a cunt song. Now I'm saying MFer. I mean, CNN just... And if that's not enough for you, here's another one that they did back in July, interviewing some woman.
But largely Hillary Clinton's comments here today, John, were based around the recent violence that we have seen, the police-involved shootings of black men in Minnesota, in Louisiana, and then the killing of white police officers by a black gunman in Dallas. That was really what she based her comments on around today. And remember, Hillary Clinton has some vulnerabilities herself, even as she calls for criminal justice reform because of her support in the 1990s for anti-crime legislation that ultimately helped contribute to this era of mass incarceration that she now speaks out again.
We just lost Breonna Keeler, who was in Springfield, Illinois, where Hillary Clinton just spoke. You heard Hillary Clinton was talking about race relations, also talking about Donald Trump, two things she will continue to talk about, I think, for the remainder of this election, just as he...
Quiet. Yeah. So I looked that up, and I go on the internet, I go on YouTube, and there's actually a compilation tape of CNN doing the, protecting.
And it's always when somebody's saying something that...
negative about. Yeah.
Something conservative.
Yes. And that's what to me, they're the most evil. People go, what about MSNBC? No, they don't try to hide who they are. They believe what they believe, but CNN tries to, play the middle. Oh, you get Fox over here, and you get your MSNBC and where which is, they are the worst. That and the fact I have to listen to them when I take a Delta flight in the terminal.
They don't have Fox?
No. It's been Ted Turner, the Atlantic connection, for years. For years. When you sit, even now, they do it at LaGuardia, all the airports. If you're flying Delta, you have to... CNN is up on those TV screens. I literally walk down the hall a mile from my terminal to get away from... And you can't. They're playing over the speaker. I don't want to hear Wolf Blitz fucking brainwashing me before my plane hits a mountain. I'd rather be Megyn Kelly or somebody... I thought Chris Wallace had blood coming out of his eyes and his
whatever.
His whatever.
That's it.
All right.
You think Trump meant that when he said that to Megyn Kelly?
Meant what?
That she was menstruating or making...
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I've said shit like that and try to cover up with the same shitty lies he did. So, absolutely. And Megyn, I like Megyn Kelly. I met her, but she's too much with that feminist horseshit, man. She's always on her high horse. She got upset because Trump called Hillary a nasty woman. Why does he have to do that? Because she's nasty, and even the woman part's up with the... But she's nasty and she's a woman. That's why. No?
I absolutely agree with you. I'm not... I like
Megyn Kelly.
He is disrespectful and nasty to the world. He makes fun of a disabled guy. He makes fun of Rand Paul's hair. He makes fun of Rubio's ears. Whatever.
Right.
He's nasty to everybody. But feminists, ironically, feel that if you're nasty to a woman,
it's a different thing.
That's misogyny.
Right.
Rather than saying, oh, you can be nasty to us just like men because we're no different than men. No. So they single out the nastiness that he has to women, and they say it's misogyny. When it's totally within character, like if he wasn't nasty to women,
they'd be offended.
No, that would show you that he's treating women differently.
He's treating like an equal. I said the same thing about Ray Rice.
Yeah.
No. Folks, it's a joke out there. But no, that's exactly the point. You can't want to play with the big dogs and go, well, we can do anything you could. We're tough as men. And then you can't.
If Trump made fun of everybody but women, what would that tell you? He's hands off on women.
He's hands off on women. Who wants to be like that other than Shepard Smith?
Feminists don't want us to be hands off, do they?
No, they don't. I don't know what they want. They confuse me. Hey, thank you so much, Noam Dworman. That's it. I appreciate it. Folks, check my podcast out at connectpal.com/Nick. connectpal.com/Nick. You can subscribe there, or you get it free on iTunes and riotcast.com on Mondays. Come see me at the Suffolk Theater, October 28th, filming a one-hour special in Riverhead, New York. Go to nickdipalo.com. Thank you, Sirius and Comedy Greats. We'll be back tomorrow with the great Colin Quinn. Take care, everybody.